Hello, herzlich willkommen. What was that? That was German. Welcome to the Compendium of Discomfort, the English language channel of the German podcast Compendium des Unbehagens. My name is Michael, and this is basically the 100 subscriber special. Thank you very much. I'm very happy that some people find this channel seemingly because I do stuff that other people don't, because I talk about movies that other people don't talk about, and that's very good. Please tell your friends, please come back, get the subscriber numbers even higher. For me, 100 is now very good, but we can get higher, we can do it. Anyway, since I still haven't talked about the movies that I said I would talk about in the 50 subscriber special, I'm not gonna promise anything now. I will just talk about a movie like usual, and then we will talk about some other stuff after that. So the people who just come for the movie can enjoy the review, and then we will get into some other things. I've been in horrible conditions the last week, so please forgive me if I'm a little bit... Yeah. So, anyway, we will talk about that movie. After that, it's the third big music movie of the year. The Japanese title is Bold as Kimi. The English title is Bold as You, named after a Jimi Hendrix song that's called Bold as Love, seemingly. I have no idea. It's a movie by Takashi Okamoto. It's his second movie after Disco's High, which I haven't watched yet, but I will watch because I liked this quite a lot. So I think usually he's more a director for music videos, and he's pretty active in the independent music scene, and that's what this movie is about. And since his last movie had already music scene seemingly, and then he traveled the mini theaters of Japan, like these small independent cinemas, he started to like them and wanted to put that as a theme in his next music movie as well. So this one is about mini theaters and live houses, which is both stuff that suffered a lot during COVID, and it was pretty nasty, and somehow it still keeps going, and this movie is kind of a celebration of all of that, and how people inspire each other to keep going and keep trying and keep aiming for something bigger. And as usual, I've got my lovely pamphlet, this time signed by a big part of the cast. The happiest I am about Mariko Goto. You might not know her, but just let me show you a little bit what this movie looks like. It doesn't look too spectacular, and that's probably one of the main criticism or main points of criticism we can apply here. Mariko Goto, this lady. But let's talk a tiny bit about the cast. I just want to talk about three people. That's one, Kaori Ijuin, who is a musician, and this and the director's first movie, I think, is basically her whole acting experience. Then we have Kanji Tsuda, the only big actor in this movie. He plays the manager of the cinema that is very much in focus here. And of course, Mariko Goto. So who is Mariko Goto? I bought this CD from her today, and I bought this soundtrack today that she is on, and I just found my CD box to look for this thing. maybe don't show that too much. It's a little bit erotic. And basically, is it? She used to be the singer of the band Midori, who are basically famous for very extreme live performances. Basically attacking their audience, or let's say she likes to take off her clothes during her concerts, or kissing the fans, or walking on the fans, stage diving, all this pretty crazy stuff. And that got her quite some reputation, seemingly, because then people expected her to always be like that. She had some trouble. I'm sure she has some other trouble, like mentally. Anyway, as far as I know, she got help and feels better now. But at that time she struggled a lot and couldn't go on with that band anymore. And then she became a solo artist. For example, this album here is under the name DJ Goto Mariko, so basically more electronic music. Her original band Midori is kind of jazz punk, very noisy, very aggressive, pretty amazing. You should give it a try if you don't know them. And anyway, so I guess for most people she will be the main reason to watch this movie in the first place. For me, I think I got that flyer few months ago, and I thought, music film, why not? Then they kept playing the trailer, and someday on Twitter I found a music video which I liked, and at that point I hadn't realized that she was in that movie. And I watched this music video. I feel, okay, that voice sounds familiar, sounds pretty great. What's that? And then I thought, it's Mariko Goto. And so I was lucky enough to watch it in my local cinema just around the corner, where they filmed a huge part of this movie. That's the it's called a nanage, my automatic translation of my phone always translates that to your grandmother as gay now, but it's the Dainana Geijutsu Gekijo, so the Seventh Art Film Theater, and it's one of the more famous cinemas in Osaka. It's pretty great. It has only one screen, and they show a lot of wonderful movies, and all the cinema scenes for this movie were shot there. So you can see there are many aspects of that movie that basically make it impossible for me to be just like, it's like objective, as if I would even try to be objective in the first place. But now even less than usual, because it's basically shot in my neighborhood. Like most of the other sets, I know there's a big lifehouse where I haven't been yet, but I know that's the big cat in Shinsaibashi. There was even a lady in the movie who I just met last year by accident. I went to a concert by a wonderful band named 16 Coins, which you should check out if you want to. And she played with them, and was a great concert. I think, what was her band's name? I should have researched that. Something Drop. Misui Drop. Yeah, Misui Drop. Misui Drops. And suddenly she was in that movie, and seemingly she was in a movie that's being shown in this movie. And like I experienced today, there was a talk event for that movie where she appears for that scene. So it's a very meta, weird. Anyway, so so there are people I know in there. There are musicians who I like very much. It's shot in my neighborhood. It's topic or two topics like cinemas and music that I like very much. I usually like music films. If you have a music film, you've won my heart. And so there's not much to be like overly critical. There's not much room for complaining, even though I can totally see that some people will be like, oh, what's this? This is not amazing. This is not great. For me, it was not the best movie of the year. I think those two were better, but still, it's a really good movie. And let's maybe talk a bit about the story. We don't need a spoiler section today because it's quite obvious anyway where it goes, even though there's something very strange at the end. So anyway, so it's about a young woman who wants to be a musician. She basically spent all her life in this tiny cinema, and she calls the manager her god. And she has one more god, and that's Mariko Goto. Here as a singer of a very popular band, and the guitar player of that band is the director of the movie. So he has maybe the most he has the worst role in the movie. I guess he gets the worst during his scenes. Not a popular guy, but few men in this movie are very positive, I would say, little problematic people. Anyway, so she spent her life in the cinema, didn't really have friends, and then she learns to play the guitar because of her idol, and goes to a guitar battle and stuff like that, and basically wants to make friends. So it's basically Bocce the Rock in less weird, but so of course there's a mild connection between the two themes, but I guess the actually glue that keeps it together besides this girl is like this connection. Struggling people following their dreams. I think the tagline for the movie is something like there are more reasons to stop than to continue. Something like that. But they keep going anyway. And I guess that's the idea. There's one scene where the manager of that cinema is already like, basically, he has given up, and he was like, some nice excuse like COVID. Yeah, like he should have taken the easy road. Hard times, let's finish here before it gets even worse. But now he survives that, and now he is like, oh, no. So basically, that's the glue that keeps the two stories that seemingly don't really relate together. Yeah. And she just tries to become a professional musician, and that's it. There's another guy in the cinema who is in love with her, who wants to date her, and then we have this story of this band around Mariko Goto, where the guitar player struggles as well and fails during the concerts pretty badly. So you can see where this might go in the end. And it's a very simple story. It's not like I told you before, it's not the most gorgeous looking movie. I guess it's relatively cheaply produced, and it doesn't really hurt. It looks fine. It looks more like a TV movie, but that's totally okay. The concert scenes are really, really nice. Not as spectacular as maybe here in Nemuru Baka, but still very good. And the only thing that I feel like will turn a lot of people off is the acting. Like I said, the only real big actor here is Kanji Tsuda. And everything else is just over the top. So if you expect a realistic story with realistic acting, you're completely wrong here. There's a whole movie remind me a bit of last year's The Scoop, where only one actor knew in what kind of movie he is, and that's a pretty silly one. And this one too, it's this typical you can do it if you just fight hard enough, this typical Gambaru movie. And these movies tend to be completely unironic, completely serious to a point where it becomes stupid. And if you don't like that, it's a horrible experience watching something like this. I like that very much because I think way too many movies are way too cynical, too ironic, too self-aware, too I know what I am now. This one is just completely honest and straightforward, and just like here, I do this, and I do this with all my passion and heart, and I believe in this. And it's a bit silly, but that's the point. Yeah, it wants to be like that. It wants to give people hope or something like that. And yeah, I think many people are way too cynical to watch that kind of movie. And yeah, the other point is, like I said, the acting is not particularly realistic. Some people would say it's overacting. Some people would say it's bad. I would say it's comical, and many scenes in that movie are very clearly comical. It's not about creating a realistic world, even though it is pretty much about the real world and the reality that these people struggle through. But the jokes are very manga-esque. The whole acting is very manga. So they're like over the top characters all the time. Like there are two security guys who just look like straight out of a comic book. Like you can't tell me that they even tried to approach this whole thing in any realistic way or form. Same, at some point the protagonist just tells this manager of the cinema that he should just set up a live stream of that concert. Yeah, okay, I do that. That's a pretty big band. I guess it's a little bit more complicated than I just do that. But who cares in this very fictional, simplistic comic world? That's the way things go. And I guess that's something many people will not like. For me, it's totally fine. I was first a little bit surprised, but I always feel like that's a good way to get around maybe some not so great actors, like the protagonist here. She's mostly a musician and not a professional actor, and I think some of the others as well. So that's a good way to get around some maybe deficits. I think Mariko Goto, for the biggest part, plays herself, I guess. Works well. She does a fine job here. It's all good. Like this little bit crazy, eccentric singer who kicks her guitar player into the crowd. So no, I think it works totally fine, even though the look suggests a more realistic movie because it's shot in a very realistic way. But it's totally not real, even though, no. So there's maybe some conflict in how you see that. But no, I think it's totally fine that way. It works very well. The concert scenes are very good. It's very funny how the movie ends. You have this concert where they play, I think, like 2 full songs, one almost twice. And there you already have like the actors and actresses. And then you have the normal credits, and after the credits you still have scenes that tell you how the characters keep going on, and it's a very long ending, I feel like. But because there's this big fluff at the end, it's just like, look, it's also wonderful, or mostly wonderful, I guess. It's really, like, for me, I forgot everything that might have been not amazing in the first 70 minutes or so. So I didn't really feel like there's much to complain about, even though I know many people will. But like I said, this movie is just too close to home to just be annoyed by anything. I'm just happy. Oh, I know this person. Oh, I know this place. I know this. It's just. I was very happy about this, and I might watch it again if I can. The funny thing is, it's just the second cinema that shows this movie. So it played in Tokyo first, and it came here. Today they announced that they will show it in Hokkaido, Sapporo, probably. So I hope it will get around Japan and people will watch it, because it's really, really nice and very heartwarming. And Mariko Goto is pretty great. She and some other actors and the director came for a little talk event after the movie. They gave autograms and all this stuff. So very, very nice, very more reasons to not dislike the movie. And I think I had a good time. It was pretty great, and just a wonderful experience after a really nasty week. So let's get to some other stuff besides this movie. And let's just have a little chat, little bonus for 100 subscribers. Like I said, thank you very much. I'm very, very happy about that. And please tell your friends. Anyway, like I said, I had a really terrible week. So I don't really want to talk about many things. I just stayed on my couch, slept, and stuff. But I watched a very nice little movie. Maybe we just throw that in very quickly. It's a short movie, 21 minutes. It's Sukajan Kung Fu by Atsuhiro Yamada, who made a movie that's called Awake. And it's with Yutaka Kyan, who was in that movie, and The Man Who Failed to Die. And then there's Saori Izawa, who is in this person here. And then we have Masanori Mimoto, who was in, you can see it a little bit here, Ghost Killer. What's going on here? It's a little martial arts movie about a guy who goes to the cinema again, watches kung fu movies, and always feels like, oh, I wish I was as strong as them. And he someday gets a very not so cool jacket that gives him power, and then he can fight with his love interest who works at the cinema, and is of course Saori Izawa, and they can fight the evil Masanori Mimoto. It's a fun little movie, 21 minutes. It's on Amazon Prime in Japan. I don't think anywhere else, because there are no subtitle options. But if you can watch it, it's highly recommended. Other things I did that week, I played a Shining Force CD, which is a lovely, lovely game. I love Shining Force. Give me more Shining Force. But what I wanted to talk a little bit more about is, when I was looking for here my Mariko Goto and Midori CDs, I had to get my CD box off the shelf, and so I thought we just talk a bit about music. And Colter of the Deeper's new EP is a Sheep EP. Wonderful band. I love this band. It's very, very amazing. And the only problem is, a few years ago, basically the band consists of two people. That's Kano, who's a drummer, and I don't know if he ever says anything publicly, and the singer and guitar player Narasaki, who basically writes all the music and stuff. And a few years ago he outed himself as a silly sausage because he seemingly believes a lot of stupid things, like the storm on the Capitol, like, was all Antifa, and that's the evil left, and poor little Trump has nothing to do with it. And one concert he wore a flat Earther t-shirt, so maybe he's a little bit stupid, but it's an amazing band. What I thought is funny here is it's the Sheep EP, so of course there's a song that's called Sheeple, and I just felt like maybe the flat earther is not in the position to talk about Sheeple. Anyway, it's wonderful music. I love that band. I'm just sad that he's seemingly a little bit. But don't expect musicians to be very amazing people. Anyway, that's, for example, very great. And I had this box full of CDs, and I have all the CDs here next to me. I just want to grab a couple of them and throw in some stories maybe, and if you like that I can talk more about music, I will talk more about music, hopefully. Anyway, because one good thing from here to another thing is that this band used to have a member that's called Ichimaki, who played in a band that's called BP, and who now plays in a band that's Cubino. And Cubino are first pretty amazing, great, and they are on the newest Get Your Genki sampler. And you should like Get Your Genki, because Get Your Genki is pretty amazing. That's my good friend Christian's record label in Germany. But almost all of the artists are Japanese, and he makes like funny little compilation cassettes. And of course you can get it as a download as well. And it's usually very, very good music. Before COVID, when I went regularly to concerts, I always told the bands, hey, send him a message, join the cult, join Get Your Genki. It's very fun, and now it's already volume 14, and there's some good stuff on it. I haven't listened to all the songs yet, but I was very happy to see a band that's called November Wednesday, that I have actually seen a long time ago, just once, but I think they were very good. And then there are some regular guests like Dutch Monies, who are always fun, and some other stuff as well. So I highly recommend Get Your Genki, and I told him that he should join me here on the show. Actually, he is one of the main reasons why I'm even doing that, because when basically, I spent all my time in the live houses, he started this label. So we felt like, okay, we should talk about Japanese music more on the internet. And at that time, I did only my German language podcast, where we did some episodes together, like first regularly, and now he's too busy. But we always said we should do it on YouTube in English, and that's basically where this came from a few years later. So I hope he will come on this show and talk to me about music and stuff and his compilations. But anyway, give it a try. It's really, really good stuff, and usually you can get them quite cheaply. And as far as I know, he doesn't really make money with this project. It's just a hobby, just for the passion. And yeah, let's see what other stuff I have here. What is really depressing and fun and weird is, of course, like, I've got some quite popular stuff. I've got here like Acid Man. This is not their greatest album here. They're already in the big major label hell and just keep repeating themselves with less power, but it's still solid thing. But yeah, of course, like stuff like that is still around. But for example, here I've got a CD, basically self-made, by a lady whose name is Miki Kano, and she was one of the first, maybe actually the first artist who I have seen in Japan, because I remember I went to a bar in Shinsekai, which is a part of Osaka that has the same name as this Midori album, Shinsekai, and it might be a gay bar, I don't know. One day I went there again and there were only gay men, which was a bit confusing for me because, yeah, no. So suddenly a strange man in leather comes to flirt with me. I'm not used to that. Anyway, so first time I went there, I was basically alone, and the bartender was like, "Hey, I've got a concert. If you like live music, please come." And then I saw this lady and a band called Zan. I don't know. I have one of their CDs somewhere here. Can't find it right now. A really, really great band from Osaka. I think they have a clarinet player, which is one of the most obvious standout elements. And they basically play alternative rock, pretty heavy. And the interesting thing is that they play in all combinations. Like sometimes it's the singer with his guitar and the clarinet player, or just a guitar and drums and all the stuff, and they changed the lineup quite a lot. But I remember they always had a dancer there too, and yeah, it's a pretty unique band and pretty great. So yeah, wonderful. I think that were the first two bands that I saw live in Japan. Or here we have All Summer Vacation, a great band, a little bit Melt Banana-ish, pretty amazing. We also have a Droopies, a nice fun punk band, which I saw at an event in what is it called, the Teraracho Fire Loop. That was pretty much after this first concert, so I thought, oh, Zan were pretty cool. By the way, it's spelled like Zan, but pronounced Zan. And they played there along with, I don't know, maybe 10 other bands. Oh, by the way, here, the singer of Zan has this funny CD that's called How to Pay for My Drinking. And yeah, that's 500 yen. Eternal tax included. Yeah. So basically you buy it and he can get a drink. Oh, here's one more of their CDs. Very good. Oh, here another wonderful band I found pretty soon through Get Your Genki. That's Tsukune Dai Senso. Very, very lovely humans. Very, very fun. I don't know if they are still around. But basically they play very nice music and are a little bit crazy. And Tsukune is like a meatball. So one time at the concerts, they actually Daisenso is like a big war. So later they actually had a Tsukune Daisenso at their concert, which was like a huge meatball that you could buy, which I think is another very funny thing, that at some of these very long events, they just sell food. Like some musicians maybe don't have CDs or merchandise, so they just make curry and sell that or stuff like that, which is pretty funny and delicious. And so yeah, they sold for example, the Tsukune Dai Senso, and during the whole concert, the bass player drank soy sauce from a soy sauce bottle, which was pretty disgusting. So good stuff. Or here, another cool band, Draw Into Disorder. Basically, they love Nirvana, so if you love Nirvana, you will like them. Pretty great from Wakayama. Oh, here, a big band, Zazen Boys. Listen to Zazen Boys, amazing. Oh, yeah, so much good stuff. Here, these are very nice too. Some tribute albums for the Bloodthirsty Butchers, wonderful punkish band. Also, so much good stuff. And I haven't touched these in years. Here, Fifth's New Heavy industrial rock metal so I haven't heard of them in a long time. Not sure if they still play. Riff no Waxe. I really like these self-made CDs. More of them looks a little bit like the Deftones album, A White Pony, with these simple design. Here I have no idea what this might be. Some stuff, more Riff no Waxe. No, but it's such a joy to go to these live house events, because maybe you don't even know who plays it. Doesn't really matter, because you will see some good music, unlike in Germany. I think the rock music scene in Germany, I have no idea about the big cities. I'm from the countryside, but I feel like there's not much going on. I might be completely wrong, but I think one reason might be the problematic situation of finding a practice space in Germany, because you will have to rent a room, like permanently rent, basically like an apartment, and they are pretty rare, and it's pretty difficult, and you will just have to pay a lot of money. And in Japan, you can just rent a studio for an hour and can play there. You can rent instruments, you can rent amps and stuff. So that's pretty easy. In Germany, you will have to buy it, and you have to rent a room, and you have to pay a lot of money. It's way more complicated, I feel like. That's maybe one reason why bands in Germany are not such a big thing. It's more probably electronic music, hip-hop stuff like that you can do at home. Another funny band is here, Lodi Pops, that are pretty great. And I remember one time they joined band competition. It's the Emergenza, I think. And it's at a pretty great place, something Universe. There's a movie about that place too, which is pretty cool. And basically the winner of that band contest can play at the Taubertal Festival in Germany. So Zahn, who I mentioned before, played there, and I remember I watched the video on YouTube, and some guy just walked around and shouted penis. Not so nice. Still a good concert. And I remember I talked to the guitar player, and there was one band playing who had a nice concept that they don't really play music, but more or less do stand-up comedy, and in between they play short punk songs. But I felt like, oh my god, how do they want to perform in Germany, because no one will understand what they're saying. And just when I told him, he was so stressed that he almost threw up and ran away. Poor guy. I think they didn't win. I forgot who won, but it wasn't them. Too bad. Very nice band. Let me just see. Maybe one or two more. More Zazen Boys. Here, 16 Coins. The first CD that I found in a second-hand record shop in Osaka, and I thought I would never find this, because not even the band had it anymore. So, yeah, very good, very happy. It's a fantastic band. Listen to 16 Coins. Same, a pretty big band, Lostage. Very, very good. The Singer has a record store in Nara where I went and told him that, hey, I really like your band. I want to buy your CD. Good. Another great thing, very similar to Lostage, more like on the emotional, little bit punky side, Bacho. And I remember this concert. They played with Zan, just these two bands, and I made a reservation for that concert. In Japan, usually for these smaller concerts, you make a reservation and you will get in 500 yen cheaper. And this one, I made the reservation and I was really looking forward to it. And then I lost my job. So I was basically completely broke. I had no idea when I would be able to work again. I wasn't even sure if I would be able to stay in Japan. So I was in a very big trouble. So that day I took my last bit of money to go to this concert. And at some point I felt like, oh, let's check. Maybe some of these bands have like a 500 yen single or something. So I checked and they didn't. So the vocalist asked me if I would like something. I'm so sorry. I would love to buy something, but I just lost my job. I'm completely broke and there's nothing in my price range. So he just gave me the CD and told me next time, please come again and enjoy our music more. And that's a really, really great thing. And yeah, good. And I just have maybe one more today. This one, I think I will listen to this after this recording. That's a Kyono. That's the album Yuake. And that's the guy who made the opening song for Baby Assassins. He made the soundtrack for Gisuidos and all that stuff. A pretty cool guy. I talked in that video a bit about him. He used to be the singer of the Mad Capsule Markets, a very, very great electronic punk hardcore band who at some point broke up, and the two main guys, like the bass player and the vocalist, started new bands, or like he started to work solo and the other one started a band that's called AA Equal, so literally like an A, another A, and then equal, which is ungoogleable, I guess. And it all sounds the same. It's basically all the same. You just get more Mad Capsule Markets just from two directions. He had an electronic phase, but that's basically over too. So, but it's funny how they just go, yeah, let's do the same, just not with each other. I wonder what happened there. If you know what happened between these guys, you can please tell me. Anyway, I guess that's enough of aimless rambling about music. I just want to mention this. I always forget their name. Hachiju Hachi Nanchala Show. Great band. I will put the name here. Now there's so much stuff to talk about music, and recently I have been to a concert by a lovely band that's called Year After Year, and I feel like I want to go to concerts again. I want to get back into the live houses, so maybe we will have a little bit more music talk here soon, especially if Christian finally gets the motivation to talk to me again. I think he's always motivated, he just doesn't have time. But anyway, so that's enough for today. I'm still feeling pretty dead. Like I said, thank you so much. 100 people subscribing to this channel makes me very happy. Yeah, and what else should I say? please stay, please tell your friends. It's a lot of fun to do that, and it's even more fun if more people enjoy it. And I really like those comments that I'm getting, especially the people like, hey, I came here because you're the only one who talks about that stuff. That's really nice, really good. And I got some really nice movie recommendations already. And I'm happy to talk about Japanese movies with people. So just keep coming, keep talking to me. I'm very, very delighted. And thank you so much. Until the next video and the 150, 200 subscriber special. Let's see how fast we can get there. Thank you. See you.